All right, let's talk about amendments today. Recently, I've been getting a lot of questions about what do I fertilize because we're getting at that point where seedlings are getting a second set of leaves. This is what I use, and it's a lot of different things for a lot of different purposes. When you're talking about amendments, the number one thing that you need to keep in mind is the NPK value. So on every single fertilizer, there's going to be 3 numbers. These numbers signify the NPK value. So N stands for nitrogen, P for phosphorus, and K for potassium. Values, these different elements are better for different things. So nitrogen is going to be for green leafy growth. Phosphorus is going to be for flower and root development, and potassium is also going to lean that way as well, although all are very important for all different types of growth. So first up, the one that I use the most, even though it's my least favorite just because of the smell, would be a good fish emulsion fertilizer. So this is a fish fertilizer. It is fish-based and it smells like it. So this is something that I like to stay away from in my indoor grow room, but I will often use out in the garden or out in the greenhouse where I don't have to smell it. This is one that I picked up just from Target because I needed something. This also has a higher N value. This one is a 10-4-3, so 10 parts nitrogen to 4 parts phosphorus to 3 parts potassium. So this is one that doesn't smell quite as bad, and I will be more likely to use inside when I need to fertilize. This is phenomenal for all my veggies. This I tend to use for green leafy growth. This is really fantastic for peppers, for tomatoes, because they tend to need a little bit higher of a P and K value. This is what I use. When I am outside in the garden, when I'm planting things, that's where these 2 bags come in. So this is blood meal. 7% nitrogen, 10% calcium, and 8% sulfur. So this is really going to be nitrogen heavy for green leafy growth. Blood meal, on the other hand, has some nitrogen, but it also is higher in phosphorus. So these 2 things I will tend to put into the holes of plants as I'm planting them, just for a little bit of an easier transition. You can also dilute this in water and use this. It smells much better than the fish fertilizer. And one of the reasons I like this is because this is a recycled material. The blood and bone would just go to waste, and so it is used for this. All of these are organic. I tend to fall into that organic gardener category, so that's why I like using them. Fish fertilizer is my number 1 recommendation. It does a fantastic job. As you can see, it's used a lot. It just sits out in my greenhouse, but it does smell like fish. The espoma is so good for tomatoes, for peppers, for any fruiting plant. So good. And then this is just one that I picked up because I didn't want to use this inside. And then the blood and the bone meal are really, really good soil amendments. So that is overall. Let me show you how I fertilize and when I know when to fertilize. Let's pull snapdragons because I know these guys are in need of some fertilizer. Actually, they are looking a little better today. This is not gonna be as easy to show you as I thought. Okay. Well, okay, here you can see it a little bit. They are kind of like a washed out color, which I'm not loving. They're like around the edges is a little bit yellower than I would want. They still look pretty good, honestly, but because of that, and I haven't fertilized these in 2 weeks, these guys are in need of some fertilizer. When I start fertilizing is when I see the second set of true leaves come on. So this one has 2 sets of true leaves. This one has only 1 set of true leaves. These little guys right here, those are seed leaves. So those are not quite ready for fertilizer. I'm gonna fertilize this whole tray because if I lose some of the smaller ones, it's gonna be okay. When I definitely, absolutely would not fertilize would be like this. He doesn't even have 1 set of true leaves yet. Those are just seed leaves. And so this one would absolutely not do well with fertilizer. And the reason is it can be kind of harsh on newer seedlings. It's a lot of nutrients and you can burn gentle seed roots. The other thing I do is I do a half dilute. I'm not using fish fertilizer in my room. Nope, not upstairs. So if you don't know, my grow room is upstairs on the 2nd floor, which means the entire 2nd floor smells like fish. Not doing it. So this one tells me indoor mix 1 capful per gallon of water. So this holds just about a gallon. So what I'm gonna do is to half fertilize. I'm gonna do half a capful. Make sure you mix. Okay, so good shake. And then I'm going to put half of a cap into my watering can. Then I need to fill this with water. I bottom water everything. So that means we're going to pour in my diluted fertilizer. And these will soak it up from the roots. That's it. That's how I fertilize my seedlings anytime that they're looking a little bit purple or yellow. And I fertilize about every other week so that I have nice, strong seedlings when they're ready to plant.